Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog, and today I'm going to show you a fun way of sending out a pen pal letter. Don't exactly know what I want to call this, but it's basically a little letter booklet, and I'm going to show you today how to make one and how to decorate one and fun ideas you can do with that. But first, I would say that I'm going to pick out a tea, but I'm actually going to pick this one out of the basket. It's a butterscotch latte, which I got from Beck in her beautiful mail a little while ago. And ever since I got it, it's like a couple weeks ago, but ever since I got it, I've been dying to try it out. So, here we go. I love butterscotch. I love flavoured lattes, and I know for a fact that I'm going to love this. And I even brought my kettle upstairs for it. But okay, this video will be consistent of two main parts, which will be one, me explaining in real time how to make like the start of this little video, this little project I mean, and the second part of this video will be me working very fast. I will speed up the video and then I will do a voiceover, which is how I usually work. But before I do that, I want to bring back something that I used to do, and that is show a piece of my pen pal's mail at first. This project doesn't have a receiver yet, but I did want to show you where I got the idea, because this is mail I received from my pen pal Roxanne. Roxanne also has a YouTube channel. I will link it down below. She makes incredible things. I'm very lucky when it comes to pen pals, and she basically sent me this little letter booklet. I cannot show you the inside because it obviously holds her personal letter to me, which really is something I want to keep personal, but I can kind of give you a little bit of an impression of how she did this. So she has, first of all, this gorgeous cover. I really want to know which paper that is, and she did this with twine. So she basically punched she punched 6 holes in the paper, and then she put twine through it to make a little booklet. I think I'm going to do it differently, but I also wanted to show you that so you got a little bit of an impression. She used this brownish twine combined with this gorgeous, I don't know how you call it, but oh, it's so cute. And I will show you a little bit of the inside. So what she did is also something I really love, because she has a lot of vintage things and a lot of, that's really her aesthetic. She combined vintage papers such as this one, which is, I think, a page from a book or an old notebook, and then she combined that with kind of handmade paper. Okay, I can show you this because this is her goodie page. So this is like handmade paper, which is very cool, and she combined that with this kind of greenish paper. Cute, right? And then in here there were some goodies which I obviously took out. So she decorated every page with like stamps and stickers and washi tape, and she included some little goodie envelopes in there for me, which is so fun. And then she wrote her letter on the rest of the pages. I did want to show you that because, I get all of my inspiration from pen pals, from you guys, from Instagram, and I did want to give credit where credit is due. This is definitely Roxanne's idea, so I wanted to let you know that, and also show you her kind of vintage take on that journal. But for today I wanted to do not vintage but kind of new. I'm now going to explain to you what I'm going to do. So the first thing you're going to need is a somewhat sturdy cover. This could be cardstock like I'm using today, or it could be just a little bit stronger paper. Just make sure that it's a little bit less flimsy than your usual paper. So this is going to be my cover, and I'm going to simply fold it in half. I do not know the size of this, but size isn't really important unless you have to make it fit exactly into an envelope, but I don't really have that problem because I make my own envelopes. I'm just going to flatten that, and then it's so simple what we're going to do. The next thing you're going to do is find papers that can fit in here. So that could be letter writing paper, it could be note paper, it could be basically any type of paper you can write your letter on. The only thing that is important is that you have to remember that it needs to go sideways. So for example, Wait, let me see. This is a folder filled with loose letter writing paper. For example, this paper wouldn't really work because if it goes sideways, you have lines on there that do not make sense at all anymore. So basically, you need something that doesn't have lines. And I'm going to make it summer themed. So, oh, I can use the strawberries. These Flow journals, because I'm a member of Flow. I don't know how it is with the international Flow, but I'm a member of the Dutch Flow, which is the original Flow, and then every month they send you not just the magazine but also a notebook. And the notebooks are really pretty, but I just don't have use for a notebook. But I did of course save them because these would be perfect for writing letters. Okay, these journals, many pages have lines which wouldn't work like this, but they're actually wide enough for me to be able to cut them in half and use them like that, so that the lines actually do make sense. I'm just gonna check. There's one, which one is it? This one? There's one with like summary, not this one. There's one with like, I think lemons or something on it, which is kind of cute for a summer theme. Not this one. Of course it's the last one I grabbed. This one has lemons. We definitely want to use one with the lemons. Where's my craft knife? Why do I always lose my craft knife? There it is. Okay, so you're going to pick papers, but if you are a person who writes short letters, then obviously it doesn't make sense to pick out a whole lot of papers. But I usually, with my pen pals at least, like to write long letters. So I need a lot of paper. This one, I'm gonna have the one with the lemons. That's cute. So I could write on both sides. I don't know yet if I want to do that. But I have one. So you obviously need a certain amount of paper depending on how long your letters usually are. My letters are usually quite long, I should say, and I'm thinking I want to send this to a pen pal, so I also need a lot of paper, but just look at what you need, and also keep in mind that you might need a page or two for some goodies. I think if I wouldn't be doing this for a video, I would probably write my letter first, because then I would know how many pages I need, and that might make it easier. But if I want to make a letter, I'm obviously not going to do that on camera, so I'm going to make it now without the letter. Let me see, how big is this? Okay, so the booklet is a little bit over 8 inches, so I think I want to make the pages a maximum of 8 inches. It's, by the way, totally okay if the pages are not the same size. That will make the effect a little bit more playful and fun. So like I said, my pages need to be around 8 inches and they need to be, I think, around 5.5 inches wide or high. Keep messing those up. Sorry. And then, as you can see, I still have the cute print, and the lines are facing the right way. So this will be my page. And then if you want to, like I said, write the letter first, keep in mind that writing a letter like this is not going to work, writing on both sides, because then you're going to put another page on top and your letter starts here and continues there, and then that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. So if you want to do the writing first, do make sure you actually form it into a little booklet before you start writing. And then, just like with a junk journal or something like that, when we have our pages, we're going to figure out which one goes where. Now, you want to think about how long you want to make your letter, and also where you might, if you want to, place some goodies. So for example, I would probably put the goodies on the back because they are covered and I cannot write on them anyway. So it might not be a good idea to, for example, put a page like this, because then I would have non-writable and non-writable together. So I might want to switch that up and, for example, turn this around, and then I could write on this page and put goodies on that page, and same on the other side. So just think about how you want to do that. If you're only using regular paper, then obviously that is not going to be a problem. But I think I want my booklet to be like this. Now you're going to write your letter first. This is when you're going to write your letter, now that you have your pages still nice and flat. You just flip through it and see if it makes sense to you. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we are going to line up the middle, so the folded part, on all of our pages, so also the cover page. So we're just going to try and find the perfect middle. And then what I like to do is I like to use binder clips. I'm a professional now because the other day I made a junk journal for the very first time. I like to use binder clips and put one there, so that you can keep the middle exactly in the middle. Now what we need is a safe, something that we can pierce. So next thing you're going to need is something sharp. You can use a needle, or I don't know, I use one of these which I think is used for making holes into belts, but I use it for die cutting. By the way, back, this is my new favorite coffee, butterscotch latte. I wish we could get that here. Yum! I did put some extra, how do you call that? Like the coffee powder? I did put some extra coffee in there, like some extra espresso powder. Simply because I like my coffee to be quite strong, so I put some extra coffee in there, but wow, that is so good. Now we're going to decide which side you want up. Obviously all of my prints are facing this way, so this is going to be my up. And then we're going to pierce holes. Now first we need to decide how many holes we want, because we're going to use thread to bind this booklet. Now I showed you in the beginning how my pen pal Roxanne did this. She simply punched holes in the outside, and then she put the thread through it like this as well. But I'm going to pierce holes through the middle, and then we're going to do it differently. But just do whatever suits you. I think the way she did it also looks really, really cute. My way might be a little bit easier for flat meal. I think I want to go with, let's make it sturdy. Let's do 5 holes. I'm going to eyeball this. You could also measure it out and see exactly where you need to put the holes, but I like to do it my way. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, so we've got our holes ready, and now there's another thing you have to decide. You can, we're going to put thread, and then we're going to make a little knot, and we're going to have to decide if we want to do the knot on the inside or on the outside. I think I want to do mine on the inside, but either way would be fine. If I want to do it on the outside, I could use some cute paper to cover that up so you don't see it anymore. But let me just grab my thread. So for this particular project I simply used embroidery thread. So that, I think embroidery thread usually is 6 threads in one, but I think I only used 2, but regular sewing thread would also work just fine. I know that when people make a journal they like to use waxed thread. Really, this is something I only just learned, so don't worry if you don't know this yet. But I think that for a little letter booklet, just usual sewing thread will work fine as well, because you know it's not going to be opened and closed as often as a handmade journal would. Now my threading or my sewing is not that special. It's literally just going back and forth until it is sewn together and kind of tight. That I think is important, because if it's kind of loose then it might fall apart more easily. I know it wasn't as fluent as I would have hoped, but that is the basic tutorial for this flip book. To recap, you need a cardstock outside, and then you need to find little pieces of writing paper that are the same size as the outside of the cover. You put them in the right way, like the way you want them to flip. Then you simply pierce the middle and you use thread to bind your little book. I really don't know what else to say about it. It's really that simple, and I think for me this will be a very fun way to send a pen pal letter. But there are so many ways you could use this simple tutorial and make it your own. For example, my original idea was to use only writing paper on the inside and then put an envelope with goodies on the back, so that the inside would be all writing and then the goodies would be on the back. But then my pen pal, she had those really adorable little envelopes in the middle, and I also quite liked that, you know, it's like you're reading the letter and then as you're reading you find these little surprises in the middle, which is kind of fun. So you could do that as well, or if you want to keep the outside of the design kind of slim and sleek, you could also put the goodies on the inner cover. Now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to finish this. I still have no idea what I'm going to do, but I know it'll be fun. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Share this with your friends, share this on Instagram. If you're watching and crafting along, please share a picture on Instagram. I always love seeing those. Or tell me in the comments down below. I always try, whenever you're sharing a picture of watching my videos or crafting something that I showed, and your Instagram profile is on public, I always try to repost your pictures, because, you know, that's kind of like my way to thank you for sharing my channel. So yeah, you know, have fun with this. Show me your ideas, show me how you make this your own, and I cannot wait to hear you guys' feedback. Hey guys, it's me, Present Vivian, with the voiceover. Have to admit, I started this voiceover already 4 times. It's not going great today, but the first thing I want to say is that I started this project with no idea, which you're going to see in a second, because I created that tiny cute little envelope because I wanted to include some tea, and I end up not using it at all. I did include tea because, you know, that's just fun, the idea of your pen pal sitting there reading your letter with the tea you sent them, but the envelope was just a bit too bulky. And my idea for this was really to have it be a flat little journal for my letter to be sent in a more fun way, but still flat enough for, you know, just regular snail mail. Because I know that a lot of you guys are interested in more actual pen paling ideas that can be sent in a flat envelope all across the world without costing too much, because shipping can be so expensive. I see that with sometimes the bigger mails I receive in my PO box. It's kind of crazy how much people have to spend on shipping, and I want to go back to focusing on more like actual flat mail ideas as well. So just wanted to point that out there. Like I said, I had no idea where I was going with this. I just knew it had to be summery, and right after I started filming this video I decided that it was going to my pen pal Emilia, because we always write long letters, my pen pals and I, and she was the next in line. I usually work in chronological order. I don't know if anyone else does that. Like, I will reply to my pen pals in chronological order, or sometimes I will pick one a little bit earlier, such as this one for my pen pal Emilia, because it has been her birthday very recently. So I thought, you know, it would be fun to send her birthday present, even though a little bit late, still kind of on time. That's my first question. Do you guys reply to your pen pals randomly or chronologically like I do? And how do you decide who is next? Then a second question is, or actually not really a question, just like a little thing you should do, and that is follow my pen pal Emilia on YouTube and Instagram. I'm not saying this because she's my pen pal, but she has a really fun YouTube channel as well, and I think, you know, it's like a little late birthday gift. It would be really fun for her to get some new followers. So I will mention her channel in the description box down below. Then I had another question I wanted to ask you. Yes, I know, a ton of questions today, and that is, do you guys write long or short letters? I think that's kind of applicable for this video because, you know, my letters are long, so I need a lot of pages in my Penpal letter booklet. But if you only write a one-page letter, then maybe a usual flip book would be more your style. What you see me do is make a teeny tiny envelope out of that kind of see-through paper. First I do the blue one, I ended up not liking it, so I make it again with that white tracing paper. The stickers you see in the background are Pipsticks stickers. Pipsticks is a sticker subscription. I'm not sponsored or anything, I just make videos unboxing their packs each month. It's a little bit late this month, I don't know where it is. And I ended up making a see-through little envelope, which I fill with these pretty floral die cuts. I had something else I wanted to tell you or ask you, I don't remember. Oh, my brain, I'm already late. It's already 8:30, which is the time I usually upload, and I'm still doing this voiceover. I'm very sorry about that. I like sticking to a schedule. It helps me basically, and it also helps you guys in knowing when my videos will be online. But I had to work today in the cat cafe, and then afterwards my boyfriend and I, we had dinner outside, which is really nice, and I kind of started too late. What I'm doing in the background and why it's taking me so long is I tried to make a little booklet with a die cut, because I learned that if you do not cut something all the way through, you can turn it into a little booklet. It doesn't make sense, it didn't work, so I just cut out 2 tags and then I put them together with washi tape, and I wrote mail tag on that. And then my pen pal Emilia today, she sent me a video saying, hey Vivian, did you forget to fill out the mail tag? And I did. I completely forgot to put in the questions and my answers, so oops, that is not very smart. So she has a really cute little mail tag, just no questions, which is kind of stupid, but you know, it's kind of funny as well. It shows that we all make mistakes, I guess. By the way, fun fact, do you guys know why it's called a mail tag? I always thought it was called a mail tag because you write it on a tag, but apparently it's like tag you're it, you know, like the game you're playing with when you're kids. It's like I tag you with the questions and then you tag me again. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's basically tag you're it, but then mail tag you're it. Okay, great story, Vivian. But as you could see in the background, like the flat little goodies I included were a washi tape sample, a bag of tea, and a ton of cute little die cuts. So everything flat enough so that it's still a really flat booklet. And of course the bulkier happy mails and flip books and tag flips are also really, really fun. But in the end, it's all about the letter and the connection you form with pen pals. So yeah, that's why I really enjoy sharing projects like this, so that you also know you don't have to feel intimidated by whatever else. Just a quick little flip through to show you everything inside. Of course, I wrote my letter in there, I just forgot the mail tag, and then I wrapped that up with that beautiful pink ombre twine. By the way, I got that at Action again. I think it's for like knitting or something, but it's ombre and it's pink, so I had to have it, and I use it all the time now. That is today's video. Once again, I want to thank you for watching it. If you made it to the end, well done. You can answer today's question, which is, what's today's question? What is your favorite houseplant? By the way, I completely forgot to say this, but I got that lovely paper that I used for the outside cover from Anya in her Happy Mail. I did say that in the video, I just ended up cutting it out because it got way too long. It's still very long, it's still like 25 minutes. Okay, Vivian, cut it short. Thank you for watching. If you do end up making something like this yourself and you want to share it with other people from the community, don't forget to use the hashtag ThePaperLetterBlog, and I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye bye.